Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. Police control, teleworking, double cleaning shifts or the closure of public infrastructure are some of the measures taken by City Council to fight the spread of coronavirus.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas detailed the main aspects on which City Council's work has been structured since the beginning of the health crisis caused by the global coronavirus pandemic. The complex situation we are facing has changed in just 15 days the normal functioning of the local administration of Benalmádena to adapt it to the new and urgent needs of the current state of alarm.
We have been working from day one, focusing in 4 areas: containment of the spread of the virus, social coverage for the population at risk of social exclusion, fiscal measures and support for groups and businesses, and an extraordinary plan after the emergency of the health crisis. These are the lines of action in which we are working to fight the spread and reactivate the local economy.
The Mayor has detailed the various actions urgently developed by the City Council to contain the spread of the virus in Benalmádena. Local police forces, in collaboration with the National Police and under the coordination of the local administration, have established the devices that guarantee that the population stays at home, something that is also being ensured thanks to the collaboration with the Military Emergency Unit that carried out containment work in Benalmádena, such as informing neighbors and disinfecting the surroundings of the sanitary areas. A decree was issued specifying the essential and non-essential services of the Benalmádena City Council, thus guaranteeing the telephone service for citizens and the normal operation of the local administration, as well as the massive implementation of teleworking, thus allowing most of the institution's administrative staff to carry out their work from home without risk of contagion of a spread of the pandemic, with more than 250 employees currently telework. The municipal workforce has also been reorganized to provide extraordinary resources to operational services, which have been structured for greater efficiency in 2 work shifts dedicated to the disinfection of public spaces. In addition, daily cleaning and disinfection of the municipal offices. The access to the cemetery has been prohibited, and there is a limitation of the number of people per walk. Closure of public parks and beaches of the municipality, as well as those municipal spaces and dependencies without face-to-face work, and adaptation of public transport to current needs, reducing its frequency and capacity. Also preventing materials such as masks, gloves and soap has been purchased for use by municipal public services. Acquisitions that have been completed with numerous donations of preventive material by individuals and groups.
The crisis is showing the human side of most of us, with volunteers offering to collaborate during this hard time in any capacity, whether it is manufacturing masks, giving psychological support, or teaching online.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas and the Councilwoman for Citizen Participation, Elena Galán, announced the creation by City Council of a solidarity network of volunteers to provide support to the most vulnerable people during the health crisis caused by COVID-19. This same information has been circulating through WhatsApp groups, encouraging neighbors and friends to get involved and collaborate, always to the extent of their possibilities, with the aim of creating a network that covers the different needs of citizens that are beyond the reach of the administration. At City Council, they are aware of the interest of loads of neighbors to provide collaboration from home during this health crisis, and they want to contribute channeling this aid.
Agradecer a lo
I would like to thank the neighbors who contacted via email to establish this network of volunteers in the city. During the weekend alone, we have had about 400 requests, of which we have already contacted about 150. A classification work is being done because there are people who can help us because they speak languages or because they are teachers and we can put them in contact with students who have educational needs, or because they are psychologists and can help people who are depressed, or simply people who want to spend their time calling older people, asking about their well-being and offering emotional support.
The first step has been to enable an email so that those interested in joining the network provide their data, and later, through a telephone survey, they will determine precisely how they can collaborate. Through the network, they will be able to provide citizens with all the information to make donations to the various organizations that deal with delivering food to those most needed, such as Banco Sol, Caritas, or Cruz Roja, among others. To organize the population to make phone calls to people who are alone and require some type of support, or direct them to other groups that are already working in the city. The purpose is to channel the will of the citizens to collaborate during these difficult times towards the most urgent needs that arise, creating a support network for the work that is already being carried out by social welfare or emergencies.
Pueden colaborar todos los vecinos y vecinas.
All neighbors who want to lend some of their time in favor of the community can collaborate. With pride, I want to share that since it was open, hundreds of persons have already stepped up, showing that Benalmádena is solidarity, and we are going to make real the motto that identifies us in these moments, and that is that together we are going to stop this virus.
During the state of alarm, the people of Benalmádena have once again demonstrated their most supportive profile, and the City Council wants to offer all the means and facilities so that their will to help reaches out to those who need it most.
If during the whole year it is important to buy local, now more than ever we need to support our businesses to overcome the crisis, and City Council has developed a list of shops where you can buy or order your needs.
With the declaration of the state of alarm by the central government, it should be remembered that the opening of retail commercial establishments for food and basic necessities, pharmaceutical or medical establishments, as well as hygiene products, newspapers and stationery, fuel, amongst others, is allowed. The permanence in the establishments must be strictly necessary for the acquisition of food and basic necessities, the possibility of consumption being suspended. In any case, crowds will be avoided and consumers and employees will be controlled to maintain the safety distance of at least 1 meter. As a measure to support local trade and a resource of public service for citizens, from the area of commerce of Benalmádena's City Council, a list of local companies that are providing home delivery or pick-up on request of food has been prepared.
I would like to encourage you to consume in local shops, especially in small neighborhood stores, those that we have close to home, because it is time to support them. And not only for that, but also to take advantage of the added value that they offer. Many are also willing to deliver the purchase at home.
In the list, we can find butchers as Infantes in Las Flores Street, takeaway food as Elisa's Kitchen in Gamonal Avenue, or bakery pastry shop like El Sueño de Astrid in Los Cármenes Street, among many other shops. The companies that want to be part of this list should send the following information to fomentoypromocionmunicipal@benalmadena.es. Name of the company, activity, product, service, specifying whether home delivery, commissioned, collection or both, address, contact telephone number, email and web. This list will be updated, so we recommend that you keep the link to be able to access and see the new additions of companies. ACEP's president, Rosa González, also called for support for the economy and local business, highlighting the difficult situation of this business that can carry out their activity but are at a minimum turnover. They have had to resort, in many cases, to flexibility measures such as the temporary suspension or reduction of workers' hours, so it is vitally important to support our local business and make our purchases from them.
Benalmádena Sport Marina has established minimum services that guarantee the correct maintenance and surveillance of the facilities to comply with the state of alarm.
The sports marina manager, Manuel Jiménez, has confirmed the minimum services in Benalmádena's marina so that the proper maintenance and surveillance of the facilities is guaranteed during the state of alarm caused by the health crisis of the coronavirus. Following the indications of the General Directorate of Marine Merchant, as of the National Association of Nautical Companies, the marina has established minimum services sufficient to guarantee the maintenance of the facilities, performing essential services for the activity to continue.
Desde el puerto deportivo de Benalmádena,
From Benalmádena's Sport Marina to comply with the Royal Decree 10/2020 and following indications from the General Direction of Merchant Marinas as well as from the National Association of Nautical Companies, the port established minimum services sufficient to guarantee essential services on the facility. It should be remembered that ports must ensure the safety, surveillance and custody of boats that are moored, and also make sure that there are no movements of people through our facilities. Remember that in the nautical sector, a major part of the activities were already suspended when the state of alarm was declared, but the port must have minimum marine services to cover any emergencies as a fire or a sinking. In this sense, our workers are covering essential tasks, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank them. Varadero doesn't carry out any activity like the rest of the premises, and we are working together with the Maritime Service of Guardia Civil to follow the protocol established in the event that a boat arrives.
en este sentido, nuestros trabajadores están haciendo una labor esencial y quisiera aprovechar para agradecérselo.
The ports have the responsibility to ensure the safety and custody of the boats that are in their berths, in addition to ensuring that there are no movements of people through the facilities, and they have also maintained minimum services for this. Therefore, the activity has been reduced to the minimum possible, and only urgent and unpostponable tasks have been carried out, always ensuring the safety of the mooring workers. The manager has indicated that the dry dock currently does not carry out any activity, like the rest of the premises in the port area. In addition, they also collaborate with the state security forces. Access to the marinas is allowed for the crews that work on the boats that are moored, but trying that there is not more than one person on the boat, that the work is necessary, and that the recommendations and obligations dictated by the authorities are observed sanitary. The occupants of the ships moored in the ports will have the same limitations as the rest of the citizens, being able to leave the ships only to buy food, medicine, and all those departures that are authorized in the Royal Decree.
The state of alarm has been extended until April 26 as a measure to curb the spread of coronavirus. The decision was announced on Sunday after consulting the scientific committee.
The Spanish government has announced its plan to extend the state of alarm currently in force to curb the spread of coronavirus for 2 more weeks, until April 26. The country has been in lockdown since the middle of March, with all non-essential activity banned. The current 2-week emergency period ends on April 11, and the new extension will need to be passed by the Congress. The decision comes after Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez held a meeting on Saturday with the scientific committee responsible for analyzing the evolution of the pandemic in Spain. Today we know that our efforts have been worthwhile. They have served to reduce the percentage of new cases of infection, to see how the number of patients being discharged is multiplying, and to save lives. Tens of thousands of lives that the virus would have taken without the work of the healthcare professionals and without the measures to restrict movement that we decreed, said Sánchez on Saturday. Fernando Simón, Sanchez's main advisor on the coronavirus health crisis, said on Friday that despite the positive figures, the daily increase in new cases is falling, the population was still required to maximize precautions to avoid a new spike in figures. The daily increase in deaths announced on Saturday was the lowest this week, 809, making the total 11,744. The previous day's increase in death was 932. The government now has to seek the support of opposition groups so that the extension of the state of alarm, allowing an extension of the lockdown, can be approved by MPs in Congreso. The Spanish constitution includes 3 states of emergency levels that a government can resort to in exceptional circumstances. The first is the estado de alarma, state of alarm, the second estado de excepción, state of exception, and the third estado de sitio, martial law. Once the state of alarm has been declared, the government can impose forced confinement and restriction of movement, where the general public can only move around the country if authorized for work, health, or emergency reasons. Intervention of businesses and property, with the government temporarily seizing private assets, occupying factories, workshops, or premises of any kind except for private homes, as taking over the private health infrastructure. Finally, the government could ration the acquisition of basic goods and bring in measures to guarantee supply.
And these are today's headlines. City Council restructure its work during the crisis. New volunteer network against coronavirus. The importance of shopping locally. Benalmádena's marina is also on lockdown. A state of alarm prolonged until April 26. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy skies tending to overcast without ruling out rainfall from the afternoon, minimum falling temperatures and maximum rising in the eastern interior and with little change in the rest, east component winds with strong intervals. And that's all. Thanks for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook. Have a good night, enjoy the weekend, and remember, stay at home.